So this is going to be a quick video on how to use bookmarks on AO3. I'm not going to explain every single detail about it, but I'm just going to give you a few tips on how to use them. So when you open a story, you will see a bookmark button somewhere at the top. If you click it, you get a bookmark interface. Here you can add a few things. You can add notes. These are, for example, your personal notes. You could write the title and the author if you want that. You could even write a review or say things you liked about the book. Keep in mind that unless you make this bookmark private, which you can do with this checkbox, the author can see what you write. So it is best practice to, if you give a negative review or if you say, oh, this was mediocre, to make it private because the author might be able to see it otherwise. And that is a little rude for someone who, took their free time to write a story that you read. But anyway, you can write some notes here. So for example, I like to always have some information about the fic. So author, title, you might write. This can be handy because your bookmarks will continue to exist even if the author deletes the story later on, and then you can still see what story it was. One very important thing and useful thing about bookmarks is tags. Tags are things you can use when you browse your bookmarks to filter through them. And you can specifically filter for the tags that you added to the story. So all the tags that already exist in the fic will be added as well. Though they will be removed if the author ever deletes the fic from AO3. However, here you can add additional tags that might help you find the fic later on. So depending on what you want, for example, you could add enemies to lovers. If it's an enemies to lovers fic and you want to be able to specifically search for that within your bookmarks. You might also add favorites. If it's one of your favorite fics that you really loved and you want to distinguish it with that so you can easily find it back again. Another thing that might be handy is within your bookmarks, you cannot sort by word count, unlike a normal search. So you might, for example, want to say 10k plus or 20k plus if a fic is longer, so you will be able to find that again. You can also add a bookmark to a collection, which I will not explain in detail. If you have collections, you can add them as a bookmark. But that's more advanced, and for most users, this is all that you want. Then there are two important check marks below here. One is private bookmark, which I already kind of explained, but basically this will hide the bookmark from anyone other than you. So this is useful if you write something that you do not want the author to see, or if you just do not want the bookmark to show up on your profile for whatever reason. The other one is a rec, so short for recommendation. This will add a little heart icon to the bookmark, and it will basically show people that you really like this fic and you recommend it. I will click that just to show you, and then we will create this bookmark. After you created the bookmark, you can see it. This is what it looks like. And if I go to this profile, it will take a second to show up because bookmarks take a couple minutes. So I will wait for that, but in the meantime, I will show you the bookmarks on my own profile, because that's another profile. So these are some of my bookmarks. And when you go to your bookmarks, which is if you go to your profile or someone's profile and then to the bookmarks or the dashboard and then the bookmarks, you will be able to search and filter through them. And for that, you can use this bar at the right-hand side. So this is similar to when you are searching through fics, but some of the options are a little different. For example, the sort by, you can only sort by date bookmarked or date updated. So that's why it's handy to, for example, have that little button or a little tag for a word count if you care about that. Other than that, you can include and exclude just like when you are searching for a fic. But one handy little thing is you have the bookmarkers tags as well. So you have the different tags, the additional tags, those are the tags on the fic, those are these tags. And then you have the bookmarkers tags, and those are these tags. This whole block right here below is all the extra bookmarkers information. On my profile, it looks a little complicated because I add a lot of extra information so I can find fics back easily. But for example, the bookmark we just made together here is here now. You can see this is the little bookmark block with all the information that we added. And this is quite small, so it just has these bookmarkers tags that we wrote together and the author and title. I will go back to my other profile though to show the searching and filtering because there are more bookmarks there. So here you see the bookmarkers tags. For example, I have one for EPUB downloaded because I like to download the ebook version of a fic, and then I tag it so I know that I have it, and if it ever gets deleted I know I can find it on my computer. And other than that, I like to tag the ship and the fandom and stuff like that, so I'm able to search for that even if the fic gets deleted. But you can also use it, for example, with the bookmark we just made, you can search for the 10K plus. So if we filter for that, of course there's only one bookmark, but then we will be able to search and filter that way. So the bookmarkers tags specifically are a very good way to organize the fics that you like. If you want to organize them by groups or by fandom or whatever, and you want to be able to find them back in that group, you can use the bookmarkers tags. And also here you can see the little heart that we have because it is a recommendation. And then also it could be a little lock if it was a private bookmark, and then nobody would be able to see it. So that is very quickly on how you can make a bookmark. You can go to a fic. Right now it says edit. Actually, I will go ahead and delete this one because we didn't add legitimate tags or anything to it. But if you go to a fic, there is a bookmark at the top. You click on that button and it will scroll you down to the bottom of the fic actually, and there you can write all the bookmark information, the notes, which is just text that you can use to do or say whatever you want, and then the tags, which you can use to search and filter through your bookmarks via this menu on the right hand side, where you can specifically choose to include bookmarkers tags or exclude bookmarkers tags depending on what you want. Yeah, so that is the basics of bookmarks. I didn't want to explain it super in detail because there is a lot more you can do with them. But feel free to ask questions in the comments and I will get to them when I get to them.